Greetings and salutations, loyal viewer here on theinternet.com. Today we're going to talk about yet another scandal about Pokimane related to her allegedly issuing threats or copyright strikes against content creators that dare speak out against her. Now, we're going to talk about this. It's not an old story. This is happening again. I know you heard about this years ago, but trust me, allegedly it's happening again. But first, we have a sponsor. It's Virtual Shield. We'll get there, and then we'll come back on the other side. If you think technology today is bad for your online privacy, it's about to get a lot worse with this push towards virtual reality. As we progress closer and closer to VR, big tech is going to be able to monitor everything you see, you feel, and you do on the internet, even more so than they do right now. This is one of the reasons why I don't go online without using Virtual Shield. Virtual Shield can protect you from these sophisticated tracking mechanisms that big tech is using and developing further into the future. And it's pretty awesome. If you want that thing where you can go to another country virtually and go into Netflix or anything like that to get around region locks, they also got you on point with that. If you go to virtualshield.com/justice, you can get 50% off for your lifetime subscription. That's virtualshield.com/justice. Protect yourself in the real world and in the upcoming virtual world. Now, before we get into Pokimane allegedly doing this and how the quartering apparently is standing up to her and is willing to go into court and battle it out for her, I do want to talk about the differences between Twitch and YouTube, because I think it is very indicative of the behavior that we constantly see from Twitchers on the internet. You see, on YouTube, in reality, we're not competing against one another. You can watch the videos of other creators and my videos because for the most part, this is not a live streaming based content. And even if some people are live streaming, you can always watch it back better because YouTube was developed as a video on demand website. That's how it works. And a lot of YouTubers get this idea. This is one of the reasons why they're willing to help collaborate, work with other people, because in reality, they're not really directly competing with those other people. In theory, you only have so much time during the course of a day, but in reality, you can watch my videos and a whole host of other creators without that negatively impacting me at all. I don't want you guys to only watch my videos. I don't want you guys to abandon any other creators. I want you guys to consume the content that you want to consume, because in reality, my success doesn't mean somebody else's failure, just like their success doesn't mean my failure. And people get it. And there's content creators on YouTube, of course, that don't get it, that think like it's a zero-sum game and they don't want to help anybody else out. And usually when you're on this side of the content sphere, what you do is you identify those people and you disassociate with them. But when you find people that get it, they understand it, and they're supportive, you treat them with respect and you remember them and all the things that they did for you. And a perfect example of this is Lauren Chen. You cannot find a creator who talks about Lauren Chen doing something bad or unhelpful for them in the background. They don't exist because she's super helpful. She hooked me up with my marketing rep. That's why I have sponsors. And she's been overall a peach when it comes to helping other creators. Again, haven't heard a bad word about her. To a lesser extent, you see me doing the same thing. If I find a video that I like or a creator that I like, Stephen Michael Davis, Kirk Wilcox more recently, I'll promote the hell out of them so you guys go over and subscribe to their content, because overall, when you get it, you get it. And a lot of people on the YouTube side get it. However, on Twitch, it's a totally different atmosphere. And I think this is in part to the differences in format in Twitch, because on Twitch, there is the very real possibility that somebody else gaining actually does mean a loss for you. And this breeds a whole bunch of more vicious, more anti-other creators. And this happens all the time. And there's always controversies related to Twitch of people trying to sandbag other people or people trying to hurt the careers of other people. And there's a bunch of people who have talked consistently about how Twitch communities are overall toxic. And a perfect example of this, a perfect example of somebody who sees other people's success as their own personal failure or as detrimental to them, is Twitch's #1 female streamer. I didn't look it up because honestly, I don't care that much about Pokimane, but Pokimane. Pokimane has consistently over the years stricken down anybody who's criticized her content on the internet. She uses the copyright system of YouTube and apparently now legal threats from her agency in order to bolster her reputation, because she believes that if anybody gains ground criticizing her, that is going to negatively impact her operation.
Pokimane has had her legal team reach out to me, or somebody representing, somebody she's employed, and demanded I take down some videos. saying that they're just not fair use. Now, it's curious, why didn't they use the YouTube system? Why didn't they use the YouTube system? Well, that's right, because then they would have to commit to going to court. They don't want to do that. They just want to bully creators. They want to scare you with legalese.
Also, because she's a large creator, and full disclosure, there's a lot of people on YouTube and on Twitch and on these other platforms that are just not legally savvy. She uses her large creator status and the threats from her legal team and the DMCA system in order to bully people into submission, even though she has no real case and she can't just claim everything related to her content as something that is invulnerable to fair use interpretations. A great example of this is somebody had downloaded all of the videos in a feud that she had with Keemstar, mashed it up together, added some commentary, but Pokimane didn't like it, so she was like, I'm gonna DMCA this, I'm gonna give you a strike, because I think you shouldn't be able to report on what's going on Twitter when it involves me. You can do it for other people, but not for Pokimane. You can't criticize her, you can't highlight anything negative about her, and she went after people.
It shouldn't have taken me this long to come to a proper understanding of how to handle these situations and how to apologize for that. Firstly, there was an incident back at the end of 2018 where me and Keemstar had an argument over Twitter, and a YouTuber by the name of Boblox took screenshots of these tweets and then uploaded them kind of as an archive on YouTube. And at the time, my MCN told me that because they are screenshots of my tweets, that I can have the video taken down, and Keemstar had deleted his tweets. I didn't want the drama to snowball into something more, and I honestly regretted even starting an argument in the first place. So I agreed, and the video was taken down. This was my mistake because at the time I didn't consider the fairness of leaving that video up, as well as not properly understanding the fair use defense when it comes to transformative content.
Now, Pokimane apologized for that instance in the past, and she also played dumb during the course of her apology, talking about how, oh, I had no idea that a copyright strike hurts people's channels. I had no idea when I was striking all these different videos that were critical of me that I was actually doing something bad on the internet. And some people believed her because people are obsessed with believing creators that they think have this like glow of personality, and people genuinely looked it over. But the thing is, ego like that, attitude like that doesn't go away. Just because she got caught in public and she backpedaled a little bit doesn't mean that she or her team weren't planning for ways to again suppress criticism of her.
Her representation is currently trying to falsely, in my opinion, deem DMCA rights to several of my videos, and they are too cowardly to use the YouTube system because I would fight them and I would happily go to court. My videos are absolutely fair use. Some of the videos, I guess, and by the way, there are dozens more. There are dozens more videos that from other creators that I've seen on this list from my sources, but it's not my right to speak about them. If they want me to bring out, at least let me tell you this. It is many more.
Which brings us to this latest quartering story. Apparently, her marketing agency has decided not to go through the YouTube DMCA system, but has decided to contact people and contact platforms directly to have them remove links or remove videos. They use the links to identify the videos. I don't know why my brain cramped on that. Remove videos that are critical of Pokimane. And these are years old videos, and some of these years old videos are videos that had commentary about her past copyright scandals that she theoretically apologized for, yet her marketing team appears to be on behalf of her doing this because, again, we're right back to where we were in the way that this person just doesn't want anybody to criticize them, and they're willing to abuse the law, the copyright system, and to threaten people to intimidate smaller creators into not doing so. Now, it is at this point in the analysis of Pokimane videos that people fall consistently into the same trap. And of course, that trap is talking about Pokimane's appearance, talking about how her audience is supporting her because they are attracted to her or similar. We're not going to do that. We're not going to go over that. We are not going to create or generate clips for people who want to defend these terrible actions to smear us, because that's not what this is all about. This is about intense hypocrisy, pulling the ladder up on smaller creators behind you because you believe their success hurts you, and an overall attitude that is very prevalent among Twitchers, but is often seen and is seen in one of its most extreme forms in somebody like Pokimane. What she's doing is disgraceful in every possible way. People, by the way, are not legally savvy on these platforms. There's a lot of creators who, when they see these intimidation tactics, actually fall for that. So it does work in silencing dissent. The only way that you can fight back against this is by convincing those creators to all take a stand and not be intimidated, which is not possible, or by calling it out, or by pointing out what Pokimane is doing, and attaching on top of that the great hypocrisy in what she's doing. Because Pokimane abuses and basically violates the fair use standard all the time on her channel. Most of the time, these Twitchers, by the way, the vast majority of them, are playing videos of other people's content and barely adding any commentary. This is basically the equivalent of a live stream version of those bad reaction channels where people would just watch popular videos to suck in the views in order to say it's fair use, but in reality, it's not fair use at all. In fact, Pokimane very recently, I think within this month, was suspended from Twitch for watching Avatar: The Last Airbender live on stream, and she called it a watch party, but she was basically playing Nickelodeon's most successful animated series, and all these Twitchers rushed to her defense and said, hey, no, that's not a violation. It's only a violation if Nickelodeon says, stop doing that. That's clearly a copyright violation. How dare Nickelodeon give a copyright strike to Pokimane and suspend her? Which, by the way, if you hold the position that fair use should be broadened out to you literally just watching something on live stream, profiting off of Nickelodeon's product, then how can you support somebody who abuses the copyright system over and over again, somebody who doesn't need the money, who isn't being ripped off, somebody who's insanely successful, all because she doesn't like criticism of her existing on the internet? How can you have those two incongruent positions at the same time? Well, that's obvious, because the people supporting Pokimane and the person I was referencing is Cenk Uyghur's nephew, and he's never had a consistent, intelligent position in his whole entire life. So obviously, this is a guy, by the way, who also abuses the fair use system by just playing people's videos 100% of the time. And these people do something even worse, even more nasty. Not only do they spam play people's videos for views and collect donations off of it, but they'll actually, and you can see multiple different instances of this, after playing the entire video and barely adding any commentary, they'll cut off the end part where people shout out their channel and ask for subscribers, so they're not even sending people with their giant platforms to the channels that they're ripping off in order to make money on. Again, these are the people that think other people's success is to their detriment. They're zero-sum game ideology people, and it's really funny because Twitch is so left-leaning, yet all of these people act like the most vicious caricatures of capitalists that they criticize consistently on the internet 24/7. So yeah, I am very happy that Jeremy from the Quartering is actually stepping up to the plate on this issue. I'm happy that he made this video, but then again, Jeremy from the Quartering makes 16 videos a day, so basically if he stubs his toe, that's gonna be a 15-minute video. That's how this guy rolls. But in all seriousness, all joking aside, love you, Jeremy. You're a sweet guy. You're a grizzly bear, and I am in fact taller than you, and that's totally not misdirection or false advertising or fake news from me to you. But I do appreciate the fact that you're willing to go to court against Pokimane, and everybody, by the way, should be willing to go to court against Pokimane, because that attitude where you act like a child and you talk in that like high-pitched voice in order to infantilize yourself so people can come to your defense doesn't work in the court system. That attitude is not going to fly in front of a judge, and it is important, if we want this behavior to stop, for eventually somebody to take her to court based on her abuse of copyright, based on her intimidation tactics, based on the nonsense that she's constantly utilizing against other creators, so that way she can be an example, just like Matt Haas was with the whole H3H3 thing. Ironic that Cenk's nephew works with H3H3, because we need people to know that this is not acceptable. We need Twitchers to know that they're not above the law, that they're not special, that sure, they have big audiences on Twitch, but Twitch is full of 12-year-olds using Amazon Prime subscriptions. So I have an update to this story. Apparently, at this point in time, Jeremy from The Quartering has released a video saying that Pokimane has backed down. They basically said, "We're sorry, we gave you this message in error, it's totally not a thing." Now, if this was a first or second time offense, I would believe that. But here's the thing, I'm not a fool. Obviously, this reads to me like somebody getting caught, and if I got into the scandal that I got into years ago, I would make sure anybody representing me is not going around claiming all this stuff to make sure that I don't end up in a scandal like this. Obviously, this is a got caught, in my opinion, and now we're trying to backpedal situation. So overall, the big takeaway of this is that Twitchers are bad people, and I would normally say not all, but I legitimately mean 100% of them. All of them. I'm not being hyperbolic at all. They're all terrible. They're on a platform of terrible people. They're all willing to knife you in the back in a split second because that's how Twitchers are. They're basically like Xbox people versus the PlayStation people, where they can't stop themselves from being terrible people. And Pokimane, you're one of them. You're a bad person. Stop pretending to be so innocent. Stop pretending to be so nice. And for the love of God, stop trying to intimidate people with copyright law. And somebody fight back against them. And I mean, everybody needs to resist this. Everybody needs to publish the documents or whatever she sends you, whatever's threatening, because this behavior has to stop. Stop being afraid of copyright trolls, because that's what Pokimane is. The #1 most famous, most prolific copyright troll on the internet. But hey, those are just my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. If you like this video, you could show me by leaving a like. You can subscribe for more content. You can follow me on all my social medias. You'll notice they're linked in the description of this video. You can support me via the support links also in the description of this video. This has been me talking about Pokimane being a copyright troll. Till next time.